This is Sherelle T. Martin with Empower to Thrive, where we empower you to thrive financially, in life, and in business. This week's empowerment tip is on budgeting. So let me ask you, when you decide that you want to have a party or plan a wedding or even have just a small gathering at your home, what is the first thing you do? You create a budget. When you decide you want to go on vacation, you want to buy a new car, or you want to buy a house, what do? You plan a budget because you don't want to spend too much on a monthly car note or too much on a monthly mortgage. And you don't want to spend all your money while you're sitting on the beach drinking Bahama Mamas or whatever. So why is it that when we decide that we want to create businesses, no one wants to do a budget? So here's the deal. Creating a budget is a necessary evil for any business, whether you're just starting the business or whether you're doing a new project within your business. It's something that just has to be done. That and keeping track of your records, they have to be done. And no one wants to do it. It's like this dark, gloomy cloud over our heads. It's like, oh, I gotta do the budget. Oh, I gotta put my checks and my deposits. I gotta keep track of them. But it has to be done because the fact of the matter is, without doing it, you have no idea how well or how poorly your business is performing. So what I'm going to share with you today are 3 simple steps on how to create a budget that will allow you to be able to track what's going on in your business and not take up all your time doing it. So the first, it don't want to stay down. It's technology for you. So the first tip is to figure out your income over a 12-month period. And that's like the most important step because a lot of times people think that creating a budget only has to do with the expenses. But you have to know how much income you plan on bringing in to cover those expenses to have an effective budget process. So sit down, figure out how much money you need to make or how much money you want to earn every single month, and then multiply by 12, and that is your budget for a 12-month period. That's it, real simple. The second step is to list every single expense in your business for a 12-month period. And when I say every expense, I mean every expense, from the pens and the paper to the office space that you're going to lease. Every single expense, because what people do is when they create a budget, they think about all the big things: how much it's going to cost to rent space, how much it's going to cost to buy materials, how much it's going to cost to host an event and to pay for the fees for that. But they never list all the little stuff, the buying of the office supplies, and sometimes people forget about utilities and phone expense, and these little expenses, people don't put them in. And what happens is, it's those teeny tiny expenses is what will cause you to blow your budget because you won't think about them. They won't even be factored into the equation. You'll say, oh, I'm going to make $5,000 and I'm going to spend $4,000 on rent. Now I got $1,000. Well, guess what? You're spending $2,000 on all the other little stuff, office supplies and all the other stuff. And as a result, you have a net loss for the month. So list every single expense, and I mean every, down to the paper clips that you're going to buy. List all of them. The third step is to create a spreadsheet to track it in. And I say a spreadsheet because I know some of you aren't using some sort of automated system, but so you're tracking in expenses. And the past few clients that I've talked to, that's what they're like, oh, I need your help because I'm tracking it by in Excel. And I like cringe because it helps you track your stuff, but it doesn't help you manage the cash flow in your business properly, and that's a whole nother video, so we won't go into that. But take the spreadsheet, list out all your income for 12 months, list out every single expense, and save it. And then every month, go into that file and just put in the actual expense for every single expense on that list and put in what your gross revenues were on that list. Every month. Put them in, see what the difference is, save it. That's it. The result is you will be able to know every single month whether you're making a profit or a loss. You'll be able to see whether you over budgeted or if you under budgeted. Because a lot of times when we create these budgets, we create them in our head. We create them in our head, Or we might even put them on paper, but we're tracking them in our head. Oh, well, okay, so I spent this much on that and this much on the other. And the next thing you know, your account is in the red and you're paying overdraft fees and you don't know why, because you didn't factor in those little expenses that I told you in step number 2. That's probably more than likely that's what it is. Or you're overspending and spending money on things that weren't even in the budget and shouldn't even be in the budget, and that also is another video. But list it all out, put in them actuals, and then save it, and that's it. The process, once you have it set up in the spreadsheet, it'll take you all of 5 or 10 minutes to put it in and see how you did for the month. So it's not something that's going to take you a long process to do, but it's something that you need to do so that you can know what's going on. And this works whether it's to start your business, because in a business plan, you know, buried within there is a 5-year financial projection. And what is that? A 5-year budget. It's in the business plan. So you have to do it for that, or you could create one for a project that you're doing, or a product that you're about to launch, or an event you're about to hold. Doesn't matter. It's the same simple process. You could just have multiple spreadsheets, if you will. So that is my tip for you today. So tell me how this tip has helped you. Leave me and tell me how. Tell me how this tip has helped you, and tell me what budgeting horror stories that you may have had, and leave a comment down below, because your horror story, as horrible as it may be, can help someone else or stop someone else from having this same horror story. So share your info, share what happened to you, share your experiences, and also be sure to share our video with your friends and let them know how this tip has helped you. And if you think this tip has helped you and you liked it, then please subscribe, and so that you can receive these tips every single week when they come out. And also, if you haven't already, sign up for our newsletter on our website, because you'll get also additional tools, tips, and resources to help you build a thriving business. So you can get a copy of that, get on the list for our easing at www.empowertothrive.com. That's www.empower2thrive.com. I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care and be empowered.